Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the podcast. In this season, number 2, I have a very special guest that I'm very happy to welcome. His name is Tian Jiang, and he's an internationally renowned pianist. With 12 albums and a great career with highlights from the Carnegie Hall and other beautiful places that he has visited, and he has great performance. He is here with us, and we welcome him to the show. Welcome, Mr. Tian. How are you today?
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Happy birthday for Beethoven.
Happy birthday for Beethoven. That's crazy. We have the interview the day that Beethoven is his birthday. That's amazing, right?
Just today. Yeah.
How are you today? I hope you're having a great day so far.
Yes, I'm feeling fine. Wonderful. I get up and very excited. And let's celebrating Beethoven today. It's a very, very special day. And it means a lot to our world today.
So beautiful. The world is alive today, and we are alive in it as well. So I would like to start by asking you very few things about your daily life, and because I am curious, and I'm not, a concert pianist. I'm just an amateur pianist, and I'm just fascinated by people that are at this level like yours, and I'm wondering about your habits. How does a man achieves this greatness? With what habits does he achieve it? So what is your daily routine like? Maybe you can help us become great like
Sure.
you.
The daily life is very different, and being actually a concert pianist on road, and of course that was before pandemic, and now is of course everywhere is that the no concerts, concert hall is closed, and the daily life is very different. We stay at home. And of course, we have a much more time to rest and also to practice new repertoire and expanding and new programs. And my day start, I'm actually the late person, so I don't get up very early, normally around 9 o'clock, but I sleep around 1 a.m. in the evening. So when I get up in the morning, I have a nice cup of coffee, and then I like to read. I like to know what's going on in the world. So I get some news, and then after that, I have a breakfast, and slowly I get into the mood to practice the piano. So I will do about 3-4 hours practicing, and then later I will have nice dinner. And normally I do not practice so much in the evening because I actually like to socialize with friends. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. And you spend so much time on the piano. How do you manage fatigue while practicing so many hours? It's something that I'm curious about.
Actually, it's very important that you enjoy practicing. And first, the repertoire I choose, always I love. And when I hear the melody, just inspire me to play. And of course, practicing also is solving problem. And I enjoy solving problem. And if I find something blocked me, or there's one particular finger, and that passage was not clear, and I would like to find a different way to solve the problem. So this is also encourage people, especially me. I like practice.
Beautiful. Do you take any breaks? Like do you work at 25 minutes periods and sessions, or you just take it all the way?
I don't have a set time. I mean, normally I should say about every 1 hour I take a 10 minutes break and looking far away. And if there's a green, and if it's nature has a trees, I like to look at the green. It's good for the eye.
Yes, lovely to hear that. Yes. Okay. Do you read any books, and do you have any book that you would recommend right now?
Yes, I do. I love books, and of course that the Art of Rubinstein. This book is wonderful. But when I was young, and that time when I was born in Shanghai, China. I came to the United States when I was 14. I read a lot of Chinese book, and believe me, that's how I ruined my eyes. I have to wear glasses because I was reading many books in the dark. Yeah, I do enjoy
Wow.
reading books. Yes.
Amazing. What's the book that you're reading now?
Oh, right now, particularly, actually, for this week, I'm not reading any books, and but however, and right now I read a lot of scores, and because I have a time, and I'm getting to many beautiful sonatas by Beethoven, hammer clavier sonatas, and also Rachmaninoff periods. I'm reading a lot of score. I mean, something about the music is not only just practicing, and I also like to read score, and therefore this is another kind of a practice. That's why I enjoy do that.
Okay, that's very new to me because I'm very new as well. So I didn't know that. So thank you for sharing.
Well, it's important because no, I mean I'm also an improviser. When I play my own composition, I can be just free, as jazz
Yes.
musician. However,
I can
being
understand
a
that.
classical concert pianist, it's different. Yeah, so I have to compose. I mean, respect the composer's wish, and so that's why I do read carefully what they want.
I agree so much with you. I want to go back to the quarantine conditions. How are you holding up? You told me that you are doing beautiful things like practicing in the morning. Is it stressful? How do you feel? I don't see any stress, by the way, but I'm just asking.
Well, I am a positive person by nature, and I actually,
That's great.
holding very well, and I look at the things. We will win, as Beethoven says, and believe yourself and persistent, keep fighting. At the end, the glory is belong to the people. So we will win with this virus war. Yes. So I keep
inspiring.
positive. Yes. Thank you.
Amazing. And you keep feeding the world from your Instagram these amazing clips, and they're so inspiring. I just enjoy that so much. So thank you from behalf of the whole world for
Well,
that.
I must say that there's another positive things. And during the pandemic, and we concert artists, we have a lot of time at home. So I can
Right.
use this time expanding my social media. Believe me, last year and the year before, I was never look at the Instagram or Facebook and very little post. I mean, really, this is actually something I just picked up 2-3 months ago.
Very interesting. And how do you feel about yourself right now with your progress? Because I see the content that you are uploading is so high and so good.
Well, I actually very much believe the importance, the meaning, the quality of the content is more important than how many followers you have. So I care a lot about the quality of the content. So I'm not
Yes.
pushing so hard for the followers. I mean, of course, I like to many people following me, but I do care about the quality and the things I want to put out, the meaningful things I want to say to the world, and that means
Exactly.
everything to me.
Exactly. And as you do, people will start following you and realize your value as well. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Well,
I'm
actually,
so happy.
may I tell you something very interesting? And when
Please
I was
do.
about 13 years old, the great Russian pianist Vladimir Ashkenazi went to China.
Yes.
with
I know
a-
your history. I know
yeah,
your
thank
history.
you. And
I'm
with
well
a-
informed.
Yeah, you saw that from the Instagram, right? Yes.
Tell us about it. Tell us more about it. Yes, I'm very excited to.
He, with a BBC Symphony Orchestra and also BBC Television, came to
All right.
film a documentary film. And of course,
Yes.
I was the chosen pianist to participate in that film. And one of the film, the clip was he giving a master class. And
Wow.
he was telling us that the most important thing is give yourself and your love and your passion to the music. And once you give everything to the music, when you succeed, everything else will come along. So
Oh
that's the
my
very,
God,
very
that's-
important thing.
Wow, something to remember forever. It's
Oh,
so
forever.
so.
This maestro, taught me a lot. I'm very fortunate in my life. I had a chance to study with him quite a few times, and also in the United States, I found him and we met, and he gave me a few private lessons, and I'm very fortunate to have some great
Wow.
teacher, including the Peter Serkin. He was my teacher at the Juilliard School, and because him, and I had a
Wow.
great opportunity to meet his father, the great Rudolf Serkin.
Oh
And
my
the
God.
tips I learned from him still treasured until these days. It
Oh,
really, yeah.
that's the true value of people that are great. They're passing their greatness to other people. It's such a great blessing for you to experience and share with us, of
They're
course.
wonderful musicians. Yeah.
Ah. And as a kid, let's go back to your early ages of life. You were not allowed to play music, I
Yes.
heard.
Right. I was born at the end of the 10 years Cultural Revolution, and China at
Right.
that time was closed. And of course, many still quite some the classical books was actually imported. It came from the libraries in the Tchaikovsky Conservatory of Music or Paris Conservatory of Music, and before 1949. And so those Western scores was exist, but they are not allowed to touch and to play it. And during this
Oh
10
my
years,
God.
10 years Cultural Revolution was very difficult.
Wow.
However, I was only, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, but I still keep play secretly. The being secretly, I mean, I have to make friends with neighbors, and so they were not reporting, to the red
Right.
guards. Also tape the window so there's no gap, the sound will not leak out, so people will
Yeah.
not hear me play Beethoven music. So
Right.
under this condition, I was playing classical and learning.
What an experience to have. Wow.
Yeah, it was
Ah.
something, history. Yeah.
And your parents were supporting you to learn
Yes, very
piano?
much. They both love piano because my father is a Western opera singer. And of course, my mother also loves, and she plays piano, but she is a dentist. So, but because my father's profession as a singer, you need a piano accompaniment, right? So, accompanist needs to come to our home to accompany him when he sings operas. So, therefore, we allowed to own a Western piano. Piano is a Western instrument. So, therefore,
Yeah.
that's how I started playing.
Wow. And what age did you started playing?
4 years old.
Wow, the golden age or so, I don't know. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. What other what are your future plans? Do you have any plans like
Yes, I
to
do.
compose?
Of
Please,
course,
please.
I am a composer as well. I like to compose more music, and during this time, which is many artists had a lot of free times, and of course I hope my engagements will return. And just a month ago or 2 months ago, and I was invited to play and some wonderful concert stage in Germany and as well as in the United States. But right now with this situation, and I understand that we'll probably need to be patient for another half year. But
Yes.
definitely, I'm speaking to the promoters, the concert, the hall managers, and definitely looking into the future because we cannot really plan anything as yet, and needs to really
Exactly.
follow what happening the rule. Play by the
Yeah.
ear, we can say.
Any future releases of any new composition that you are having right now?
Well, and I am composing, and the continuation of my first Shanghai Dream CD. This is my own original composition, and
I
followed by
know.
Shanghai Night. And
Yes.
right, that one I have not been introduced to everybody on Instagram yet. But the
Oh,
third one is, Shanghai Future, And so this is something that I'm still considering and how to say, exploring the possibility of the way of sequencing and titling those pieces. So
wow.
that's my current project.
I'm very, very excited, and I can't wait to hear some of it someday.
Yes, and by the way,
uh,
I just want to add, and being a composer, and my latest CD, and it's called Night Symphony, Mozivari Fantasy. Now, the reason that this is the name in Mozivari Fantasy is because Mozivari is a game reserve and National Public Reserve in South Africa. I goes to South Africa every year to perform concerts and also as a how to say founding ambassador for a national organization for the conservation protect the animal. This organization called the Rhino Disharmony, and so I gave
oh,
in concerts, raised the fund, and to give to the anti-poacher unit, and so they can go to the fields and go to the national and the reserve to protect the rhinos, elephants. So this is the one of the mission I'm doing right now. Very much so.
wow.
I'm hoping I can return there as soon as possible. As a matter of fact, I must tell you, my viewers, and this March, I was locked down. The first lockdown was in South Africa because I
Wow.
was giving a CD release for this Mozivari Fantasy and Night Symphony, as well
Okay.
as at the concerts. And I never know, I was just caught and got locked down over there,
Oh
and
my
I took a
God.
special rescue flight, get out of South
What?
Africa, and of course no flight to America. So, but I have to go to Germany first.
Oh my God. What an adventure. Wow.
This year is many things we never imagined to encounter. So, but it all
Yeah.
happened. Life has changed.
Yes. Exactly. Life is what happens to us, not what we plan
Yeah.
for us to happen. So great. That's beautiful that you are a part of a great contribution to the world and to the animals.
That's my
I
passion.
love
Yes.
people that care for the world and the animals. I'm 100% with you on this mission, and you have my support,
Thank you.
of course. I can't wait for you to return to your mission. Um, Okay, we talked about your compositions, and this is so fascinating. So, remind me, because I forgot a bit, you are from Shanghai, right?
Shanghai, yes.
Shanghai. Lovely.
The Shanghai
Okay.
today is very different to Shanghai when I was born and that time.
Very different.
Yeah, it's a great Shanghai now. I can't wait to
Oh, yeah.
return because every year December this month, I perform national tour in China, Shanghai City, Beijing, Hangzhou, and Guangzhou, Shenzhen, all those major cities for the last 5 years. And this year I have to postpone. And hopefully next December I can perform, So let's, keep our finger, break our fingers.
It's very important. It's very important for pianists and concert pianists like you, of course, to keep being active in concerts. You take much energy from it,
yes,
and you also give a lot more back to the world. And
yes, not only for the performer, live music is everything. I think for the general audience, to the world, the music lover, and they enjoy live music because it was a spontaneous passion and being a creative artist and doing something special on the spot. There's something you don't find in the recordings.
I am doing this exact same thing. I'm more of a spontaneous artist than a recording artist. Like I also improvise just like you a lot, and it's so beautiful and so liberating and so enjoyable. It would be a mistake if I didn't ask you to describe to us your experience at your performance at the Carnegie Hall, of course. You've played there for 3 times, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, I say it's already been 12 times.
Oh, I only knew half. Oh, my God.
Well, actually, my very first was 1989.
I know that.
So that was my New York Times review. And for my New York Carnegie Hall debut. And that debut was my first time there, and CBS Sunday Morning and the major television came to profile on me, and they bring the whole TV crew into Carnegie Hall. And also,
it was then
it was wonderful.
Described you as colorfully illuminated.
The New York Times review. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, and so from that time and from that day, and I started get to the attention from those concert manager promoters, and then later I joined the Columbia Artist Management, which is the biggest agency in the world, and then later on I played the Carnegie Hall many years and many times, And so for the last 8 years, I played there already 5 times, including last year, December 16, which is today, at the Carnegie Hall.
Wow. How do you feel about this right now?
I feel wonderful. I tell you that the Carnegie Hall is a concert hall so special. The reason I say that is not only because the history, the historical building, the architect, and also is because the magic. When you walk out the stage, and you're facing almost 3,000 audience and packed house, and for normally that you say, wow, so many people, right? But however, that only hall can makes you feel like, the minute you start to touch the first note, the acoustic will get you into the mood, and the rest of the world I felt got lost, and the only thing in my mind was music. So I can so focus and concentrate and rise with the music and feel it. I'm sure the audience want that, and they can feel it, and you're 100% committed.
Oh my God, you're describing a magic moment. It's like, wow.
Carnegie Hall is wonderful. Thanks for Isaac Stern, my mentor.
I couldn't catch that. Tell me again.
Yeah, Isaac Stern, he was a great violinist, and he also was the president of the Carnegie Hall. And because of him that I came to the United States. He was the one that brought me to America, and he sponsored and launched the very first cultural exchange program between the United States and China. And of course, I was only 15, and he went to China, and he chose only 5 young musicians, 2 pianists and 3 violinists. And so he sent us to San Francisco Conservatory of Music. And we studied at the conservatory. It's a special program, only 2 years, but however, that the program was shortened. So I returned, but 2 years later, I returned to New York City, continue study at the Juilliard School. So those history and really that makes me smiling, because being a musician, you really have to go through a many life experience to experiencing life, not only the good happiness, but also sadness, struggle. And that all reflecting shows in your music, the depths.
Right. Beautifully said. And were your parents together with you when you moved to the US, or do they live right now with you?
Actually, I came to United States first. And of course, the very first was the government program and cultural exchange between two countries. And second time, went to Juilliard School with full scholarship. It was actually, I won an international piano competition. The gold medal actually is that gets me to Juilliard School. And
Wow.
the full scholarship is called the Van Cliven's Full Scholarship Award. And so
Okay.
therefore, I really love that city, and I never left since 1985.
And did your parents came with you to live with you, or?
We actually came 1989 and 1988, and for my graduation at the Juilliard School, and that's how they came to the United States. Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So they admired your greatness. That's what I want to see. If you
Oh, thank you. Yes, they do. How to say, admire me secretly, but they never tell me that how to say
Wow.
that. Yes, I tell you, they're very strict, and they always tell me to improve, and they tell me that the minute you feel you're on top, the minute you feel that you have nothing to improve, that's the moment when you're going down.
So it's kind of true. I mean,
Absolutely. Every day I always have to challenge myself. And myself is the biggest enemy. And because I'm so critical of my performance, and I want to be a perfectionist. Everything has to be perfect. So that's the difficult part. It could be audience loved it. They could even give me a full standing ovation. But at the end, if I'm not happy with my own performance,
Right.
the whole evening, I don't really smiling. And I would go back to the piano and slowly go through the part which is I'm not happy with, until I figure out I could avoid it and be better for the next concert.
I admire that on you and to most pianists and classical music players across the world. The self-mastery is so important. Exactly. We have to be masters of ourselves and present the world the best of the best.
Right.
It's so beautiful to do that, and congratulations for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's not something easy. I mean, to be at your best every day is very challenging, and you can lose your way sometimes, and but you can get that back.
Of course, we're human being. We're human, and we have up and downs. And sometimes that we feel wonderful, and that's why I advise that the young pianists, when you don't feel like or you're not in the great mood to practice, at that moment don't practice. Only practice when you actually feel that you want to, because the quality of the practicing time is the most important thing. If you're not in the mood to practice, and then you just like a machine repeating things, and that's not going to benefit for you. You only actually secure the mistake. So I advise that's my advice for the young pianists.
I'm sure everybody will appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's great advice. I'm very happy to hear all that. I can't stop smiling.
So I can tell you another advice for the young pianists when they enter international piano competitions. And some of them are very curious how other competitors perform, and during the first round or second round. But my advice, the most important thing is care about how you perform.
Right.
and not to really listen or care too much about others pianists is probably the best thing. You're in your own world and you only think about the music and give yourself everything to exactly the right interpretation and also put your heart into it. And then that's actually 100% focus, concentration on your own performance. And that's how other, audience and judges, and they will recognize. And that's how you rise.
It's beautifully said. I agree with you. I feel very connected with you at this moment.
Thank you.
So, wow, such a great career, and I'm almost speechless. Where do you draw inspiration from on your compositions, of course?
Well, my inspiration that the composition is that when I was very little, I have a hobby. And besides, I like to play football.
Okay.
Or American, we call soccer. But another great hobby I have is improvise piano. And just play whenever on the piano. Let the music that guides me. And because when my finger touch the key, and those sounds will create a very, inspiring the melody. And those sounds will go into my ear. My ear goes to my brain, and my brain tells my finger. The whole process like a factory, and inspiring like a circle, like a ball, keep going, rolling. So that's how improvising is so wonderful about.
So true. And you also check with your emotions, and you most sometimes you can also feel surprised by what you can play, but by yourself.
Yes, of course. When the surprise coming, you're always also expanding with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you feel the same way. And when you improvise, and you want to go to certain directions, and let's say something surprised, and your finger maybe press another key or another chord, and that moment you go with the flow, and you're expanding on that note or on that chord into another section. That's how so fun about improvisation performance.
Being free, right?
Being free, exactly. But I must honestly tell you, you can be free very much at the studio, or you practice from on your own, and then when you perform for a million TV viewer, which is I did in Shanghai many years ago for China National TV, and they asked me to do an improvisation performance.
Wow!
Which is a lot of pressure, and it is a 5 minutes improvisation performance. And at that moment, you do not want to make a mistake. One little wrong note, and the millions people can hear. But however, I tell you, the confidence and to go with the flow and to be creative and to be flexible is very important. On that spot, especially in live improvisational performance. Yes.
Wow. That must have been a memorable experience for you.
Yeah. All this feeling. It's wonderful. I tell you, once I did that, any other venue, and even live concert halls in front of 6,000 people, I feel much lighter. Because you play for 20 million people, it is much more, heavy pressure.
Right. What can be worse than that? I already did that.
Yeah. But it was like a ski, right? You downhill ski, you're learning, and then you always, taking step further and further. You always test yourself. What kind of human ability can expanding? Oh my God, I learned I can go down. Okay, I can go down the blue run. The next step, oh wow, I can go down this, ski slope with the black run, with the black mogul. And human nature, our ability is all as about discovery.
Exactly.
What can we do, And we are pushing it.
So you go skiing, right?
I love skiing, but I'm not right now, but I did a lot, and I must say that much more so 10, 15 years ago.
Okay. Where was your favorite place to do so, to ski?
Aspen, and of course they have a summer music festival. I enjoyed the summer perform there, but it's winter. It's a beautiful slopes, snow mass. It's huge, but mostly blue runs. But I also enjoy ski in St. in Switzerland, also Utah in the United States, and those are wonderful places to, exploring the nature, and I love nature.
What other hobbies do you do right now? Not skiing, I assume.
Right now, it's pandemic time. If I have a chance to find a ping pong table, I play ping pong.
I'm a ping pong player. Not a great one, but I love ping pong as well. That's very beautiful. A great game.
Well, I hope I can meet you one day. You're in Greece, I'm in New York, so maybe one day we can play ping pong.
Sure, that's a bet. That would be the most fun.
I don't know about through the cell phone.
All right. Beautiful. What else? What is your goal? Your goals for the next years of your life, or for the next 5 years, decade? I know the situation is very uncertain with the COVID, but you must have some goals in your life that you want to fulfill.
Yes, I very much hope the next year the concert halls will resume, so therefore I can be a performing artist on stage again. And if we heading into some difficulty, maybe not immediately will resume. So I'm looking into being a faculty in some conservatory of music, and there is already possibility, a offer and opening in great institute and wonderful conservatory in the world, and are in discussion with me. So I may look into this opportunity. And of course, being a composer, I would like to compose more music. And if you really have no concerts, I like to go back to Africa to be my, the passion, a animal conservationist. That's my plan.
It sounds amazing. Your compositions are so beautiful, like Shanghai Dream.
Shanghai Dream, yes. I'm very proud of Shanghai Dream. It's a beautiful composition, which is actually I composed. This is my first one out of a 14 CDs album I had. The very first one is really that the, I'll tell you a secret. Before it's released by the record company, I was not confident. I almost advised the record company not to release it. And I only got too confident when many people liked that album. That's how I get confident. And so later the city of Shanghai, they found me, they signed a contract with me and to promote city of Shanghai. Many of those great architects, and so they used the Shanghai Dream music, and including the 2010, the World Expo held in Shanghai, and they used the Shanghai Dream album. Shanghai Dream score was displayed at China Pavilion in Shanghai for half year. And so it was very well that the, popularized and get to known by the world. And of course, that was quite a while ago, but later other cities was born, and we are pushing others. But Shanghai Dream is very dearly to me, and thanks for mentioning it.
Beautiful. I wish you the best in the future as well. It's amazing to be in that position, and I feel blessed and lucky to have met you in my journey as well.
Me too. I'm very lucky to meet you as well. And I love your country, Greece. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. I love Santorini, Mykonos, Athens, Corfu, all those beautiful places. I can't wait to go back,
You haven't been to Crete yet, to Crete?
Yes, I did. Yes.
You did. Okay.
Yes.
All right, but you can come back if you want.
Sure. I love your calamari as well.
And ouzo and all that lovely stuff. Yeah.
Ouzo, oh my God, don't get me started. A Greek salad and your special cheese and olive oil. Oh, life is good,
Life is good. Life is good in Greece. Life is good everywhere.
Yes, you have a beautiful weather.
I'm sure. I can't have enough. It's even at this times of December we have sun. It's weird a bit because of the climate and
Right.
But it's okay.
Yes, of course we like to protect the world. We need to be careful. With this climate change. But we always love sun.
Yes. Absolutely, and I'm thinking that your part in this life is very important, as of every artist that exists in this world, because we give inspiration, we draw energy from within, and we give back to the world, and we hold the hope of the world in a very special way, and we are responsible for that. And I think people don't realize that artists are important. Sometimes they don't value enough the importance of our.
Well, very well said. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Of course, especially during the pandemic, and of course that we're having a difficulty. And the first thing that we have to care about, by closing down to not let the economy broken. And I understand the basic food put on the table, it is important. But after that, we really need to care so much, and the arts need a lot of support from the government. And we want to continue and to bring the attention to them, and more support from governments from every country to support arts, the culture. And it's very important, the mental happiness. It is everything, not only just the basic living.
Essential, yes. Now that you said mental health, I'm curious. Do you meditate? Do you practice meditation?
I do, and I meditating is different from those some of the Chinese the method meditation that they are doing. And I do musical meditation. I tell you an interesting story. When I was touring in the United States, and one of the concert hall, just about 10 minutes before the concert start, and in my green room, the lights was off, and the presenter couldn't find me, and he was panic. And suddenly, he just tried his luck, opened the green room. He thought maybe he's inside, because since the light was, completely dark, and maybe nobody there. So he came in, he turned the light on. I was lying on the floor sleeping because I was meditating. Absolutely. I want absolutely good 5 minutes, quality quietness. So I get my energy, focus, and regenerate it. And so when I go onto the stage, my eye opened up, and just wake up in the morning, fresh, the freshness. And because being a live concert performer, the brain is everything. It's not about just the physical. Really, you are performing with your brain.
Oh my God. You're so right. What can I say more?
I'm so happy to share my thoughts with the world. There's so much more I am discovering and learning. And the life is like a big library. We always constantly learning and to fulfill our brain. And that makes us happy.
absolutely. Ah, I feel delighted and light. We have to be fresh, exactly. So, do you practice meditation as well in everyday life, like right now in your routine in quarantine, or only in concerts?
Not every day, but I definitely always find half hour to think things through. My mom taught
Nice.
me when I was 7 or even 6, very young years, young age.
Hmm.
You always, before you sleep, you give yourself a quiet moment and thinking every
Ah,
day, what have you done and what can you improve and the mistake you made and how
wow.
to change it and then you don't make the same mistake in the future.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so those quiet moments is important for us. And I call it
I agree.
meditation.
It is. It is in the core of its activity. It is.
Yeah,
Ah,
with this fast moving world, really, many people just doing things and they don't allow themselves to have a quiet moment to actually think. Think is also important.
I'm so grateful for bringing this subject out. It's so important. I agree with you so much. Stillness is very essential in this crazy times of our lives.
Absolutely.
Um, what what's your favorite composition that you ever had uh, so far?
I
Thank you.
must say the concerto I performed last year and with the world-renowned conductor Gerard Schwartz. And we performed together the Emperor Beethoven Piano Concerto No. 5.
Oh, I was listening to that this morning.
It's so
It's a great piece, especially the
amazing.
second movement. So
Ah,
haunting. It's spiritual
Glorious.
hope,
yes.
Yes.
everything. It just touches my heart when I perform.
Mine too. It's a beautiful thing. Wow. So what else? Um, do you draw inspiration from contemporary musicians like Hans Zimmer, for example, on the film score and Interstellar movies? You know all that. Other composers.
Yes, I am very open-minded musician and composer. And especially being
Okay.
a composer yourself, you are open-minded. And because you believe creative and the creation. And especially that some of the film music and they explore the imagination with the sound and join the very 21st century of technology. That's amazed me.
Yeah.
And the fantastic sounding sometimes come out the technology. And so I'm very, how to say, um, like to explore and also admire in those pioneer in the music
Right.
world.
I'm having a masterclass with Hans Zimmer on masterclass.com, and
Wonderful.
he super information all this about technology. He mentioned that composition is creating questions and then answering them.
Yes, yes. It's almost like a questioning answer in music phrases.
Right?
We always have directions in the few phrases we're making. We ask questions and then we give back. We give answer.
Wow.
And sometimes you play rubato, it took longer time in this phrase. And then make sure you give back the next phrase or the next two or third phrase. Yes, the whole piece, you don't want to start with one tempo and then you end with another tempo, right? It's a mathematic. It's got to be balanced out at the end.
Ah, so enjoyable all this. And sometimes I didn't know about this concept that it existed in music. Like I just discovered it this year with the questions and the answers and the phrasings. In the world of music, it's a world of magic and of light and hope and
Because the
I
music direction and the conviction is so important in
yes.
when you're projecting phrases. And the audience is following you. And you need to
Yes.
lead them somewhere. The minute
Wow.
you don't lead them, you play the same thing over again or the mood is stopped. and you will lost your audience, and then you will start to see they will start yawning, in the audience, when they sit there. You have to catch them. You have to grab their attention, and that's the greatest, art of performing arts.
I'm so dazzled by all this the power of music.
Well, I love
It's
to
incredible.
share, my stories, my thoughts with the music lovers, and the music really changes our life and makes our quality of life much better. So this is very important for all of us as a musician. We need to reaching out, project, and make the world a better place.
I'm so happy for all this. I think we are very close to an end.
Yes, I think we're
would-
good. We had a very meaningful variety conversation, and I think that I am so happy you're inviting me here, and I like to share this with the world and through your channel. And it is so wonderful that the music can bring us together so far away, one in Greece, one in New York City, and that's just wonderful.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tian. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Tian Jiang from China, an amazing pianist that I had the honor to host, and we are very grateful that you are here with us, and we hope that you will follow us and in this beautiful journey, and we will see you very soon, possibly in a concert of Mr. Tian's or in the next episode of my podcast. Thank you all, and be safe.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much for inviting me, and also thank you for viewing, everybody.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Tian. It was amazing.